Hey guys, today I'm going to make a short video about how to water Compton carousels, aka Lenore Deans. So keep on watching. Alright, so here we have some Lenore Deans, aka Compton carousels, ready to be watered. And here's my water. The reason it looks this color is because I added some succulent food to it. So that's why it looks a little off in color. But you could see it's not, well, you might not be able to see, but it's not filled all the way to the top. It's only about 1/3 filled. And this is how I water. I grab one of the pots that I'm gonna water, and it's the week today that I water and feed my plants. So today I'm going to be watering and feeding my plants. So that's why I have the food in here. But what I do is when I tell people water from the bottom, this is what I mean. You grab your pot, dip it into another pot, making sure that the water doesn't overflow into your Lenore Deans pot, and you're gonna leave it here for a good 30 minutes or so. After 30 minutes have gone by, you're going to remove your pot, and you're probably gonna see some wetness on the top here, around the edges. So you'll see some wetness, but that's gonna be okay, because this is when I pot up my Lenore Deans, this is what I do. I put lava rock underneath the plant, so when it's relaxing, when it's resting on top of the rock, and it won't touch the, this is how it looks, see? So I don't really have a huge hole, you know, just have a semi little divot like that, and this white powder is rooting hormone. But what I do is add lava rock around and underneath where I'm gonna set my, hey, who's that? Look at this little guy. He's always in my garden with me. I don't know. What should I name him? Cute little guy. I just heard him right now flopping around in the water over here. I like to leave some water in this area for him. I like to keep it wet because I know he hangs out in here. So there he is. Sorry, I get so distracted. Okay, so I put the rocks around on top of the dirt, and my Lenore Dean gets set right there. And when I water it, there's no leaf that touches the dirt because it's on top of the lava rock. But look at this beautiful, look at those beautiful roots around it. That rooting hormone is really working. So let me go ahead and put this guy down, and we'll be back. So I went ahead and took out the Lenore Deans. It's been about 30 minutes. And now I'm gonna add my other pot. And you might be asking, what is that stuff that she has in there? I break up eggshells and I put them around and on top of the soil because it gives your plants some extra calcium, extra vitamins. So I break them up and add them to my pots. But here we go with the second pot. Add it in, and you're gonna wait again. So these guys, I've had these guys for a good, I want to say a good month, maybe longer, maybe 2 months. Usually I used to buy Lenore Deans and they would die on me. They would rot up or they would shrivel up and die. And I started researching these guys. These guys are super susceptible. How do you call it? These guys rot easily with water. So I started thinking, I'm like, okay, so how am I gonna water my Lenore Deans if they rot? How am I gonna do that? So I started thinking maybe I should put rock underneath, but not just any rock. I like to use lava rock because lava rock is very porous and it dries super easily. So I like to use lava rock. So what I started doing was I grabbed some lava rock from my gardens and I put it underneath the Lenore Dean, making sure none of the leaves touch the dirt. So obviously your soil is going to be wet, and once again these guys are super susceptible to rot, so you add rock underneath. And making sure your Lenore lays on top of the rocks, and you water the guys like this. This guy has water about 1/3 full. Dip them in there for about 30 minutes and you'll be able to keep your Lenore Deans alive. Mine used to die on me. I finally started getting brave and buying more because I figured out with the last one that I have that watering this way isn't going to damage the leaves. What I was doing before was watering up here, watering like a regular succulent where you just throw the water hose and it's landing all over the plant and going, you know, and staying in the crevices, rotting your plant. Yeah, now I don't do that, and now look, I've been able to keep these guys alive for a long time. Let me show you another one I've had for about 4 months now. Let me go grab him. This guy is so healthy. And look how big he's getting. Super healthy. The leaves are so hard, which means he's been watered enough. So I'm not gonna water him today, but look at like these guys, their leaves are super soft. That's when you know you need to water, not just a Lenore Dean, but any plant. If your leaves are looking like this, it means they need water. This guy here, he's doing so good that he doesn't need any water, but he's been alive for about 4 months. I've been able to keep him alive. I keep them in an area where it only gets morning sun and filtered, sometimes not filtered, unfiltered afternoon sun, but mostly for the most part it's morning sun and filtered afternoon sun. But look how happy this guy is. He is giving me a baby. And you can't see from here, but there are babies on that stem. I can't wait till they get bigger. There's one underneath the dry leaves over to the left. I don't know if you can see it. That's how happy this one is, that I'm doing pretty well taking care of it. So if you have not taken the plunge and purchased Lenore Deans, first of all, if your budget allows it, because these guys are super pricey. I had some up for sale before and people asked, you know, private messaged me and said, the reason you're not selling them is because they're so expensive. I'm like, yeah. I replied back, these guys are, the price range for these guys are like 50 bucks. 50 to 60 bucks. These little ones are 50. These bigger guys are 65. And this well-established one, this one would probably go for like $80. But yeah, if you're thinking about buying one and you're not too sure, I would start off with the smaller one. Try and order from a supplier that would sell you a Lenore Dean that has roots. A lot of these Lenore Deans come from overseas, so they chop off the roots and then it's really hard to take care of them. I've been lucky to find suppliers that sell me Lenore Deans with roots, So it's easier to keep them alive that way. But if you don't have roots, like these guys, if I went to sell them, they have some roots growing from them already. So they would be, like if I chopped this guy, let's see, to sell it to somebody, I would chop it like down here, and it has all these roots already. So it would be doing pretty good. It would stay alive easier than a Lenore Dean with no roots, is what I'm trying to say. So if you're thinking, let's go ahead and do it, try to find yourself a supplier that sells these guys rooted, and try my technique. You never know, you might just end up with Lenore Deans that are living a pretty long life like mine have been lately. All right, if you have any questions, please comment below. And if you have another type of video you would like to have me make for you, I'm more than willing to do that. Ah, get off my plant. I love succulents, and I'll do whatever type of video you want me to do for you to help learn more about succulents. Thank you. Oh, one more thing. Look at this little guy. Isn't he cute? What should I name him? He's mad at me. He's not facing me. Bye, guys.